And he's pretty hype about it. We trying to get Beasley to be incorporated with this project as well. We talked to Jazz the Rapper, Charlie Clips, O-Red, Bonnie Godiva, Chris Yamaguchi. You know, they all pretty much splattered that we are incorporating them into the game, so shout outs to them. Right now we're going to get into the details of actually how the game is going to work out. Okay, so the game consists of 3 different modes, okay? Story mode, which is going to be called the main stage. That's the name of the story mode. There's not going to be a create a player type thing, but there is going to be certain default players you can choose from, male or female. And after that, you enter the proving grounds, okay? Now, once you enter the proving grounds, there are certain qualities you have to meet in order to proceed onto the next tier. So you have PGs, mid-tier, top tier. Now, as far as the PGs go, you have to obtain a certain amount of W's in order to progress. And at the end of that certain level, you're going to be battling the strongest person in the proving ground. Mid-tier, you know, it consists of a little bit more. You can't do as much choking because in the PGs, if the player chokes or loses a certain amount of times, the longer he or she stays in the proving grounds. And at the end of that tier, you have to perform well in the Night of Main Events event. So there's, of course, we're incorporating the events as well. And after that tier, you get to top tier. And then when you're top tier, if you choke, you pretty much lose stock, you lose money, fan base. And at the end of that tier, you will participate in the Summer Madness event. All right. Now that's pretty much a sketch of how all 3 levels are going to work. Now we're going to get into exactly what you're doing as far as the gameplay of the battles. All right. So, of course, each battle consists of 3 rounds, as you all know.
Now, we went through a few different ideas about how to actually do rounding and come up with what you're going to say in the rounds. How we're going to do it is, before each battle, you're going to go to this thing called the pad. And that's basically front gun show up, and you have your different bars that you may say. And you select your different bars for each round, and it has to fill up each round, of course. How we're going to incorporate this into the actual battle phase is your person already has what they're going to say because of the pad. They're going to say what you chose through the pad. Then, when you get to the battle, you have to put in like a button, you know, like mash buttons and stuff like that to keep your flow going.
Now, when it comes to choking, this is funny as fuck. Now, if you start fucking up the flow of selecting the lines you chosen, the screen is going to turn red, and it's going to get redder.
Arsenic! That AR spit! I hit him! Fuck!
Alright, if you do not make up for your fuck up, it will be a choke. Now, in order to redeem yourself from that, you can take a sip of water. The battle rapper can take a sip of water, and it lightens up the screen.
And in the battles, it's also going to be an option to, if you get close to somebody, to dose a nigga. That means you can shove him or even hit him. But there's going to be consequences when you're doing that. You could lose the match, well, you will lose the match, and you will lose money doing this.
As far as how a person's supposed to win the round, of course, if you string together the right combination of punches, punches are made up of lines. Okay, so the lines you select, you do a stream of those, you end it with a punch. The right combination of those will get you a Don DeMarco.
Don DeMarco.
So a DD will pop up at the top of the screen. Okay? Now, we're not saying that, you know, we're not trying to say, oh, I got the most Don DeMarcos, I'll win. But basically, even in the PGs, we're going to call these Don DeMarco worthy lines. So if you hit a nice blow and the crowd goes, ooh, like, even if you're in a closed room, you're going to get a DD. It's a Don DeMarco worthy line. So, of course, if you're on the main stage, you're going to get a horn and a Don DeMarco tag. The person with the most DDs wins the round, okay? Now, when you play the game, you actually see, you know, you can't just say some whack shit and get a Don DeMarco, you know what I mean? Because that's going to take away from the purpose of winning, because it's not going to be programmed that way.
Like with the money, you could spend it on clothes, new battles, venues, apartments, and also more bars.
You can also use it for props, like, you know, Calico brought the casket or whatever. You can bring any prop that we display in the game. I mean, shit, it can range from a car coming on stage. Shit, I mean, whatever. Shout out to Daylight. We got his actual character in the game, and his face and shit. I feel like this shit.
You might see it later. And you can't repeat shit over and over and over again and expect to get Don DeMarco after Don DeMarco. It's going to be programmed so that if you keep repeating, you're going to get less and less.
The thing is, you don't want the screen to turn red. That's what you don't want it to do. You know what I mean? Because then you're going to have to get your shit back together. So then we have arcade mode. So basically, arcade mode is going to be called Hash It Out. That's pretty much, you can set up any battle rapper against any battle rapper. You can do a PG nigga versus PG nigga. You can do a middle tier versus middle tier, top tier versus top tier, vice versa. Whatever the fuck you want to do. You can do Charlie Clips versus DNA. You can do Bonica Diver versus Math Hoffa. You know, you can make your dream matchup. And the game is going to be based on the URL. We're not going to incorporate any other leagues. We talked to Norbs. I wanted it to be URL solely anyway, but Norbs is like, he doesn't want to be, the URL doesn't want to be affiliated with other leagues. And I'm thinking, if we're going to do a game, we might as well do it on the main stage. I mean, no offense to any other leagues. And after you become top tier, near the end, you get to unlock the create a league mode. You can't, of course, you can't do this as a PG person. I mean, you have to acquire a certain amount of revenue in order to invest in your own league. So you will be able to hire battle rappers, build your own venues, pay them what you can negotiate with your employees. You know, of course, a PG person is going to charge less than a top tier person.
The Creative League is basically a manager from a manager standpoint.
So yeah, man, this is pretty much what we have so far in the game. Right now, we're just working on getting everything together. The next big thing should be the cover art or the trailer. The trailer is gonna be big, man. But make sure y'all retweet this. You know, send it to everybody. This is
Your grandmama, your mama, your aunt, your cousin, and your dad. Nigga, we ain't playing around.
You know what I mean? I know a lot of niggas be like, y'all can make a game. It's bullshit. We do whatever we want to do. But yeah, shout out to everybody supporting us. Shout out to personally Jess, Trey Gang, Brady the Kid.
Shout out to my grandmama. Free my grandma.
Shout out to my girl Bria for, you know,
Don't get emotional now.
Drake! As always, it's your boy Twan.
It's your boy KD.
your boy Darren.
Respect the shooter.